Hey guys, so I am going to work on LeetCode question number 9, palindrome number today. I've solved this before, however, I did turn the number into a string and list, so one of the follow-up question was, can you solve it without converting the integer to a string? So essentially what the question is asking is, given an integer x, return true if x is a palindrome and false otherwise. Palindrome just basically means that it is the same backwards as it, or reversed as it is forwards. So 1 to 1, or in the sense of words, the name Hannah is usually a palindrome if it has the H at the end. Or ABBA is a palindrome, or like 1001, 1 million, or whatever number this is palindrome. So already what we know, I'm going to actually remove this because we're going to try and do this without turning it into a list and a string. So what we know already is if the number is less than 0, okay? If the number is less than 0, then it is a palindrome. So if x is greater or equal to 0, we know that it will actually, let's do this. If x is less than 0, return false. Okay, so already we can just kind of take that and I can't speak. We already know that will always return false. A negative number will always return false, no matter what. Then we have to move on to figuring out how to reverse the number without turning it into a string. So 121. Okay, so that's one number, and then we also have let's see, let's do like 3 2 1 2 3. Essentially, this shouldn't make a difference, but what we want to do is we want to take this number and we want to put it in front, right? And actually, I think it would be easier to see if we used a number that is not a palindrome. So let's do 1 2 3 4 5. So what we want to do is we want to move this number in front. Okay, so we're going to take this. We want to move it in front to 5. And then the next step, we want to go here and then so forth. So I did look up some of the solutions and I think I kind of understand it. So we're going to go through this and then see if I can't explain it out while I'm doing this. The thing is, we can't change this integer. We would need to make a copy of it or save it as under a different variable that we can edit so that we can compare after. So we have this, and what I was seeing was they were recommending dividing the number by 10 so that it would remove and stay an integer. So if we divide that by 10, it would move it. And then if we use the, I don't actually know what this is called as a self-taught. What is that called? What is it called? What is the remainder? I know it's the remainder function, but called in Python. Excuse me, I'm about to okay. Modulus, remainder operator. So modulus. Okay, so what we would want to do is we would have the reverse equals reverse int equals something. Okay. Reverse int equals 0. No, we don't want 0. None for now. For now, it's none. Okay. And then we're going to have num equals x. No. Okay. So we want to keep x the same. So we don't want to edit x within the function, because if we do, we would have nothing to compare it to at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this by 10. Okay, let me walk through this. Okay, so if we have 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we want to take the remainder of this number, which would be 5. So now we would have 1, 2, 3, 4 somewhere else. We would take the remainder. So reverse num would equal 5, right? And then we would need to also have num will now equal 1, 2, 3, 4. So then how do we move this up? And then we would next go to reverse number. Okay. And then we would take modulo of number. Oh, and we would multiply this by 10. Multiply by 10, right? So first we would multiply it by 10. So we would multiply reverse number 5 times 10. And then we would add the number, the modulo, which is 4, right? That would be plus 4. And this would give us 54. Okay. And then our number is now 1, 2, 3. And then what we would do down here is we would equals 54 times 10. And then we would add this plus 3. So that would be 540, right? 540 plus 3, which is 543. My gosh, I get it. I get it. Okay. So now how do we get that to happen in our code? So what we would want to do is we have number equals x, and then reverse number equals none. I feel like we can do this in a loop as long as num okay, so we also have to be careful of the 0 because this isn't a real number. Because if you have a 0, 1, the 0 no longer exists. And I think I remember that was an issue for one of my other, like it becomes 1. Instead of 0, 1, it becomes 1 as an int. Yeah, if it's an int, it becomes 1. Okay, so we also have to be careful of that. So we want to say or x, the modulo of x equals 0. So this should, we're going to test it really quick. This should give us false for the last example. Integer modulo. Oh my goodness. By 10. By 10. Right? Yeah, okay. So this is a false. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so that gives us false. So now we want to do while length of number is greater than 0, right? Okay, let me find out. So x equals 1 modulo 10. Okay, and then no, 1 divided by 10. Int. So we are getting null. Output null. Oh wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I know what I'm doing, right? Print x. Zero. Okay. So if, and then what's the length of x? Objects and has no, okay. So we're going to basically now do if number equals, while number does not equal 0. So while num does not equal 0, we're going to reverse num equals num modulo. Okay, let's actually double check that. So while the number does not equal 0, okay, we are 5. So we have modulo 5. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. So we have the modulo of num is 5. The modulo of 10. I don't know how to say it. But basically, we're dividing by 10 and getting the remainder, which is 5. And then we would multiply by 10 on the next round plus 4. So then 3. So number equals 1. Okay. 2. And then reverse equals 5, 4, 3, 0 plus 2. Okay. And then number equals 1. Reverse equals 5, 4, 3, 2. We add the 0 plus 1. So this is removed, right? Yeah, so these are, I know we ended up switching it, but so this is removed. And then we start the while loop again, but 0 does not work. So it breaks out of it. Okay. So what we're going to do is greater than 0. Okay, so we're going to have reverse num, or sorry, will be num palindrome 10. Okay, and this will be x divided by 10. So reverse is times 10 plus num divided by 10, right? And then num will equal, divide equal by 10. Print num. Because I'm curious what that looks like. If that even works. That might be invalid syntax. Oh, wait. Unbound local error. Cannot access local variable. Okay, so oh wait. Here. Let's do this first foremost. Okay, so oopsies. Nope. Num int. Now, okay. Hold on. This is also too long. Okay, wait. Okay, so divide by 10. And then okay, so we're gonna divide by 10. So how do I get so how do I get num equals num divided by 10 does not equal Wait, no. Why is this not? Okay, so we have to make this an int. Each time we have to make this an int. Int. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So this needs to be int. Okay, so then if reverse num equals x, return true, else return false. No. Okay, so why not? So let's print reverse number. What am I doing? 1, 3, 2. So this is not okay. So reverse num times 10 plus. Okay, so syntax. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna have 0. What happens if? Haha. Okay, so or x equals 0. Okay, so we need if x equals 0, return true. And then we're gonna actually just do so this is what I learned recently. Return num equals, or sorry, return x equals reverse num. Because if it's false, it'll still return false. Because this is a Boolean. Is this true or false? X equals reverse num. Is it true or false? Okay, and then so 0. My question now is there a way to make this more efficient? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, are we ready? Let's try it. And we're going to submit and see if this is any better. I mean, actually, let me... Yeah, okay, let's submit. That way we don't have to go through the loop. Okay, submit. Actually, hold on. Test case. Let's see if this is actually a valid test case. I don't think it is. Yeah, is not a valid test case. Okay, so then let's do 100. Yeah, okay. Let's try and submit it. Okay, so my complexity is my time is still pretty slow, but I mean 13 milliseconds to 0 milliseconds. Why? It's okay. It's okay. But at least I feel like this was a better submission than my previous one because this one stayed as an integer versus the previous one where I changed it into a string and then a list. So that is my solution to the palindrome number. Problem number 9. I don't quite know how to make it more efficient, but that's okay. I'm still learning. So yeah, if you want to follow along in my journey, please feel free to hit the subscribe button or follow me on Twitch or do both. And I will work on becoming a better video editor and work on recording better videos. Thanks so much. Bye. See you next time.